Hello everybody, it's me, your friend, your buddy, your good pal, Big Rob, and this is BigRobsVan, as my buddy Aaron would say. If you watched the last episode, you know that episode had a little bit of a mishap in the van. I jumped a curb in the van, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the force that the van dropped off of the curb broke both my bed and my table, which, by the way, are the only two things that I've put in this van so far. So I've had to pull the bed out of the van right now, and I had to pull the table out of the van. So if you're good at math, that means there's nothing in the van right now. And this is giving me an opportunity to do what I've needed to do all along, which is put insulation on the walls, to put walls on the walls, and actually finish out the inside of the van like I should have done in the first place. Like a lot of projects that I do, I got excited about the camping part, so I put the fun stuff in. I built a bed, I put the table in, I put the fan in, you know, but I didn't do the stuff that was the hard work. I didn't put the insulation in, I didn't put the furring strips in to mount the decking to, all that stuff. So that's what I'm going back and doing right now, and you're gonna see some of that in the next video. In this video, I started off my project by putting some panels on the back door. That has been one of my pet peeves since the very beginning, is that there's no paneling or anything on the back door, so there's just these big gaping holes, and it just looks terrible. So that seemed like an easy enough project to start with, and something that was within my grasp of doing. The panels that I made are not perfect, but if you watched an old video I did, you'll remember perfection is the enemy of good, or in my case, good enough. And so the panels that I made are not perfect. I may end up redoing them. I might redo them before the end of this week, but for right now, they are good enough. So before we get started on anything, I got a few shout outs to give. The first one is to Kevin and Jason. Kevin and Jason both bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/BigRobsVan. Let me tell you, we are in the middle of Oklahoma summer heat. It is 91 degrees right now, and it is May. It's only going to get hotter, and that means I have to get up early if I want to work on these projects. You got to get up before, you know, by noon it's 90, 95 degrees inside the van, and that's no fun. So I'm trying to get an early start on these projects, and I'm not a morning person. I got to start with a cup of coffee. So both of those people bought me coffees. I used the money to buy coffee. I drank the coffees. I enjoyed the coffees very much. Those coffees fuel this project. So thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Jason, for doing that. I also have a shout out I need to give to a woman named Lisa. Lisa works for Mammoth Tumblers. This is not a paid advertisement in any way, but I want to tell you a quick story. If you remember on a previous episode, my wife and I drove to Arkansas to go see the eclipse. And on that drive, we always have those tumblers to keep our drinks cold, to keep our drinks warm, whatever we're doing. We always, when we're traveling on the road, we always take tumblers with us, and we forgot our tumblers. And so we stopped at I think it was probably Walmart, and we bought 2 tumblers. This is one of the tumblers that we bought. This is Mammoth brand. And these are great for, again, this is not a paid advertisement, but these are great for keeping hot things hot. I often pour my hot coffee in here. It'll keep it hot all day. Or you can put cold drinks in here, and they have these little lids. They have a lid that snaps on and off. It opens up like that, and it has this little tab that helps you remove the lid. Well, what happened is we weren't paying attention, and the little tab on here was broken. There was a hairline crack all the way across. I don't think it was a manufacturing flaw. I think someone picked it up in the store and dropped it, and it was cracked like that. And so we didn't notice until later that day. We were using them, and I went to pull the thing off, and it actually pulled the tab off. It was a bummer deal. And so I had but inside the cup came with a piece of paper that said, these have a lifetime warranty for manufacturing defects. I contacted the company. I got an email back from a woman named Lisa. She said, no problem. She sent me a replacement lid. Now we have 2 of these cups again that both work, that both have great lids. So thank you, Lisa, for sending us the lid, and thank you to Mammoth Tumblers. For the last time, this is not a paid endorsement, but we do use these tumblers. We really enjoy them. They're very affordable. So anyway, Mammoth Tumblers. Not officially sponsored by Mammoth Tumblers, but Lisa from Mammoth Tumblers did send me a sticker. So I'm getting ready to get my sticker wall ready to go, and I've collected a few stickers from different van lifers. So anyway, the Mammoth sticker will be going on the sticker wall. So thanks one last time. Hey, speaking of stickers, guess what came in the mail? That's right, Big Rob's Van stickers. So I recently posted a picture on Instagram of a plate full of dinosaurs, mashed potatoes, ketchup, and I said, which of my videos on YouTube did this plate come from? And a few people got that right. That was Craig D, Tron Double D, and Luke from South London. So everybody who answered that right on Instagram is getting some free stickers, so I'll be sending those out this week. Also, everybody who follows me on Patreon who is signed up as part of Big Rob's Pit Crew is getting free stickers. I'm also mailing those out this week. How can you get these stickers? I don't know. Maybe you send me a sticker, or you just tell me you want a sticker, or I mean, I would love a thing where you saw me in real life and you're like, hey, I want a sticker. And I was like, okay, because I got a lot of them. But I mean, I'm not going to be stingy with the stickers. So if you want a Big Rob's Van sticker, you want to put it on your van, or you know what, here's the deal. If I send you a sticker, you have to send me a picture of the sticker where you stuck it. How's that for a deal? So I'll be getting some details out right now, but I'm super happy about these stickers. So anyway, we got stickers, we got tumblers, we got coffee, we got a lot of stuff, and the biggest thing we have to do is work on this project. So let's get started. Let me show you what I did a few days ago about these panels that go on the back door. It's easy to underestimate what kind of punishment the things you build and put inside your van are about to take. It's kind of like being in a low rumble earthquake all the time, driving off-road, driving on gravel, and of course, like I said, driving off or over a curb. I think that was the final blow for some of these things. If you see me going up to the side of the van, what I discovered was that the table only had 3 legs at this point, so I had to find the 4th leg. This table came from IKEA, this tabletop, and I ordered these legs separately. And it works okay in my home office. I used it as a printer stand. I've used it for a lot of things, but inside the van, it has just not held up. As you've seen before, the sides have peeled off. The glue has melted that hold the sides together. The legs are constantly coming unscrewed, and in this case fell off. So this table is just not cut out for van life. It worked temporarily. It got me on the road. It got me out having some fun, but long term, this thing is not meant for this level of abuse. For the record, when I pulled the bed out of my van later, this is what it looked like. As you can see, the entire back half of the bed snapped in half. When I rebuild the bed, which I'm going to have to do, I'm definitely using 2x4s for the long supports instead of 2x2s, which is what I originally used. I have spent the last year trying to get someone who sells and manufactures power stations or solar panels to sponsor this channel. But I gotta tell you, for van lifers, it makes a lot more sense to get sponsored by Home Depot or Lowe's, because I guarantee you, every video I make consists of 5 trips to one of those stores to buy supplies. At Lowe's, I ended up buying 4 sheets of this paneling and 4 sheets of insulation. I did some quick math, and I believe that's enough to do all the walls and the rear doors of the van. And of course, I did not take into consideration the roof, so I will definitely be back to buy more of this. The only downside to shopping at these stores is that there are so many employees ready to help you that it's almost impossible to get a shot without someone asking you how you're doing.
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. It's easy to forget that our vans are vans, and with the table and other things removed, I had a ton of room to carry all this lumber back home. I wish I could say this angle was some sort of artistic expression, but in reality, I forgot my tripod, and so the phone is just leaning up against the rear of my seat. You know, I have friends that used to work at Home Depot that swear that Home Depot is better than Lowe's. And I have a couple of friends that worked at Lowe's that swear that Lowe's is better than Home Depot. And I never have the heart to tell either one of them that my favorite one is whichever one is closer, or also whichever one's having a sale. There was a comedian a long time ago that used to tell a joke talking about social media and wanting gas stations to, basically to like and subscribe to a gas station, which he found very funny. And his one of the things that he said was, which gas station is my favorite? Whichever one's on the right-hand side, unless I'm coming home. And then the other one that's on the right-hand side, that one's my favorite. And so, unfortunately, I'm sure there are differences between Home Depot and Lowe's, but to me, whichever one's on the right, that one's my favorite. So here I am starting to make templates for the back door. Now, if you're familiar with wood, you'll know that you can't see through it, which would be really convenient because what you got to do is figure out the exact shape that you want these door panels to be and then trace it onto the wood and cut it out with a jigsaw. Now, the basic shape of the door panels is not that hard. You can use a measuring tape, which I do later in the video, to see the width and the height. Not a problem. But you got all these curves on the corner, and then one of the doors has the door handle, so there's a lot more curves. So I came up with this genius idea. I've seen people on YouTube use butcher paper, and I didn't have any butcher paper, but I did have this dollar roll of Christmas paper, wrapping paper left over from Christmas. It came from the Dollar Tree, so I thought this a straight edge to draw the sides, and the corners were really again is, and the shore power wiring is rated at 1800. So it's all basically socket to drive a metal screw and hold this to the wood. But the problem is that that is so close to the wire that you have to work, but we'll see in the long run how long this holds up. So with my extension cord connected to the other end of the shore power adapter, I decided to get with the rear panels done, it was time to start emptying out everything else out of the van and start on the walls. That's where I'm going to leave you at the end of this video. Next week, I'll show you where I'm at on the walls. That will involve installing furring strips, putting in insulation, and attaching the walls. I have a cross-country road trip planned in the van later in June, which means I've got to get going. So thanks for watching this video. Again, if you want to buy me a coffee and support my coffee addiction, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/BigRobsVan. If you want to support everything else, go to patreon.com/BigRobsVan and join the fun there. Thanks for watching this episode, and stay tuned next week to see how well the sidewalls are going. Spoiler, it goes as good as these went.